And nothing beats being a solopreneur. But my friend, there are three huge, I'm talking huge mistakes solopreneurs are making. I want to share those. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus mistake. Probably the biggest mistake I see people making. So you want to stick around for that. And as always, if you like this, please like and subscribe. Let's get going. Mistake number one is not building your list. It's focusing on traffic. So maybe doing YouTube, maybe it's Instagram or LinkedIn, and not getting them from your platform over to your email list. Your email list is your most valuable asset. It's something you own, it can't be taken away. It's where you're going to make up to 90% of your income. It doesn't matter if you're selling information products or e-commerce. And my three e-commerce companies, up to 90% of my income was generated through email. So whatever you do, you must get people from traffic, whether it's paid ads or organic, over onto your list. Okay. And when they're on your list, you have to, here's a crazy thing. You got to actually email them, but email them good stuff. It's not about sending promotions every day. It's entertainment and education and stories. It's engaging. You could do soft offers, right, on a PS, but you've got to get them onto your list. Please do me that favor. Okay, so that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is confusing a personal brand with thinking it's all about you. People say, well, you've got to build a personal brand, and they're making it all about themselves. They say, okay, it's a personal brand. So, hey, here's what I had for lunch, right? Hey guys, what do you think of me in this new blue shirt I'm wearing? Oh my God, don't I look cute tonight? That's not a personal brand, right? A personal brand is still about them. Every message you do has to be about who it is you're serving. It has to be about your audience. Now, if you are going to show your lunch, and let's say you're a health coach, okay, hey, here's my lunch, but then give them something that they can actually use. Here's my lunch. And notice 70% of it is lean protein with, 20% vegetables and 10% whatever that is, right? And here's why I did it. Now, there is some personality, right? You're infusing your personality into the traffic, into the marketing, but it's still about them. It must, in some way, shape, or form, make it about them. Ask questions, engage. But personal brand is not just, hey, look how cool I am, look how great I look. It's not that. It's always about them and about the messaging. Okay. Mistake number three is not focusing enough on recurring revenue. So people are doing, even if it's e-commerce products or digital products or a course or coaching, and not having some type of recurring revenue, or as we call in the marketing world, continuity income, which is something that people will pay month after month for access to. It's often content, right? So we're looking at maybe it's premium newsletters or a paid private community or a membership site, or maybe it is a coaching group where they have access to you. Maybe it's every week, or I have a group right now where every other week I come on live and just do Q&A. That's a really simple recurring revenue, and people pay to be in the program. They can cancel anytime and make it easy for them to cancel. And there's new regulations now where if someone is in a recurring subscription, they must have a way to be able to cancel themselves. So don't make them chase you. It can also be software. I've had a couple software programs where it's monthly, and e-commerce. So my e-commerce companies always had a subscription option where people would save money. There was often free shipping. They would get it so they never have to remember to order their supplements or their green drinks or the bars. It would come every month. And what's nice about that is you're not starting every month at zero. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more, just write the word recurring below. I'm writing some cool reports about that. We'll dive deeper. So just write recurring below and I'll send you a link to that. So we've got number one mistake is not building your list, right? Number two mistake is confusing your personal brand, thinking it's all about you. And number three is not focusing enough on recurring revenue. Now, at the beginning, I promised a bonus tip, and here it is. You ready? This might go against what some people think. Don't partner. And I say that with a few caveats. I've had many partnerships over the years, and they've all worked for a bit. Some work better than others. They've all ended amicably. There was never lawsuits. There was never anything like that. But partnerships are really, really tricky to work. And what happens often is if you're a solopreneur, you'll go, let's say you go to an event, right? And you are more of a starter. You're an idea person and you're so excited about this idea. You're like, oh my God, I have this great idea. And you meet someone at this event and they're the same way. And you're just bouncing off each other, right? Look, I have this idea and I have this idea. And then one of you says, we should partner and do this together. And you're like, yeah, but you're really good starters, right? So maybe you launch, you get things going. But if neither one of you are like the head down, doing the work person who actually does it and sticks with it, especially when things get tough, it's going to be a company that goes off the cliff pretty quickly. And then that usually doesn't work. On the other hand, if you're more of a head down person doing the work, like the finisher, and you meet someone else similar, things never actually get going. Also, and I speak from experience on both of these points, things can be really good at the beginning when if everything goes well, right? Everything's going well, you're both making money, but there will come a time, mark my words, it happens in every partnership I've ever had, every partnership I've ever seen, where someone feels as if they're doing more work than the other person. And I've been on both sides of that. I've been on the side where I'm like, man, I'm doing most of the heavy lifting. And I admit I've been on the other side where I was not pulling my weight. I know that I got distracted. So that's when it becomes uneven. And that's when there's friction. And a person's like, well, I'm doing like 80% of the lifting and I'm only getting half and they're doing nothing and they're not updating and they're not showing up. And then there's friction. There's also friction on the other side when things don't go well, right? When it's not going well and you're both putting a lot of work in and it doesn't work. So I suggest if you can, do it yourself and hire people, right? If you need help with finance, hire a fractional CFO or someone to do the books. You don't need to bring on a finance partner. Now, of course, I'm speaking about more of like kind of small solopreneurship businesses. I have friends who've been CEOs of multi-billion dollar companies. That's a different story, right? When you're doing fundraising and you've got large teams. I'm speaking more for solopreneurship. In most cases, you don't need a partner. And so you can hire people, hire per project, hire per hour, just hire for results. However, if you're looking to kind of partner with someone and you want to work with them in some way, shape, or form, at minimum, start with a project. Say, hey, look, let's do this one thing together. Let's do this project. Let's do this course. I'll co-host it with you. We'll do this together for this day to this day. We'll do it for a month. We'll do it for 2 months. We each bring our own things to the table and then we part. So you don't have to create complex partnership agreements or set up multiple corporations and LLCs and get trademarks and do all of that stuff. Just make it a project, make it a one and done, and then see how it goes. And you might say, this was the greatest experience. And then you guys work together. It's as opposed to jumping right in and forming partnerships. And this, I've seen here's a biggie where you want to start a site and you find someone on like a freelance platform and they said, oh, I'll build it out for you, but you don't have to pay me anything, but we'll be partners. And they're the tech person and they take 50% of the company when you could have hired someone for $1,000. Do not find a freelancer online and give them 50%, give them any equity to build your website. Please don't do that. Then they put it off because they're taking paid projects first and you become last on the list. Everything I teach here is based on experience and I don't want you to fall into that trap. You can hire people, but do not form partnerships right away. So these are a lot of these lessons learned the hard way or people I've coached throughout the year. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, if you want more of this, like and subscribe. Check me out at ryanlee.com because we are just getting started. You can build this. You can build this the right way. You can build this with soul. And speaking of recurring revenue, well, we weren't really speaking of recurring revenue, a little bit. Watch this next video. I'm giving you 52 recurring revenue lessons I've learned in my 52 years online. Well, not online, 52 years alive, 52 lessons. I'll see you in the next video.